Never seen a movie with such a mind-blowing plot. Never thought I'd meet such a shameless person. The man is sleeping, but he keeps feeling something soft pressing against him. Then he turns his head to look at his wife, who's fast asleep. The tingling sensation immediately wakes him from his sleep. He looks down and finds a sexy woman lying on top of him. Before he could react, the woman starts to undo her nightgown. Then she's about to force herself on him. The man is afraid of waking his wife, who's sleeping next to them, so he quickly pulls her out of the bedroom. But the woman acts like she's never seen a man before. She throws herself on him and starts kissing him. The man then takes her to another room, but he didn't expect her to become even more reckless. Just then, the grandmother hears the noise and pushes open the door. She sees the scene before her. Disappointed, she turns around and leaves. The man immediately chases after her and explains the situation to the grandmother. The man's name is Yuan Ji. He is a doctor, and he has an excellent reputation. Once, while taking his child to piano class, he met the teacher, Fang Yu, while waiting for his child to finish school. After using the restroom, Yuan Ji was about to leave, but then he heard a woman's cry for help from the bathroom. In a hurry, Yuan Ji directly opened the door. It turned out that it was Fang Yu, the teacher. It turned out that Fang Yu suffered from severe claustrophobia. Luckily, there was no serious harm. Quickly take her to rest and give her a cup of hot water. Also, check if she has any injuries. If so, send her to the hospital immediately. A few simple words of care made Fang Yu secretly develop feelings for Yuan Ji. That evening, a good buddy, Da Chao, was celebrating his birthday. He invited Yuan Ji to the bar. However, all the trouble starts here. There, he happened to run into Fang Yu and her best friend. After some interaction earlier in the day, and since it was his buddy's birthday party, Fang Yu and her friend happily agreed to have a drink together. Yuan Ji even kindly asked about her condition, and he taught her ways to relieve her claustrophobia. With Yuan Ji's concern, Fang Yu, with her love-struck mind, completely fell for him. By the time the party ended, everyone was so drunk they couldn't even think straight. Here's a tip for the men out there. Always stay alert and protect yourself when you go out. Otherwise, it's easy to become someone else's prey. The next morning, Fang Yu was taking a shower. The noise woke Yuan Ji, who was still sleeping. He woke up and saw lingerie scattered on the floor. Yuan Ji realized that he had lost his chastity. So, he quickly pulled up his pants and prepared to leave. While grabbing his clothes, he accidentally knocked over the sleeping pills. Just then, Fang Yu walked out of the bathroom. Facing Fang Yu, Yuan Ji felt a bit guilty. I'm sorry. Should I apologize too? Don't worry, I understand. Yuan Ji pulled up his pants and left without looking back. It was obvious that Fang Yu was very pleased with Yuan Ji's behavior. When he got home, he saw his wife sleeping soundly. He immediately went to the bathroom, only to find that his clothes were covered in lipstick stains. So he quickly took off his clothes, but couldn't wash them off. So, he quietly left the room with his clothes in hand. He went to the kitchen and opened a bottle of red wine. He poured it directly onto his clothes. Just then, his wife came over. What are you doing? Oh, Da Chao got drunk. He spilled red wine all over me. Luckily, my wife didn't notice anything. The next day at work, I didn't expect the first patient to be Fang Yu. She claimed she had fallen the night before. She lifted her shirt, revealing the bruises on her back. As a doctor, Yuan Ji immediately recognized these were injuries from being beaten. So he asked her what had happened. Fang Yu said she found out her boyfriend was cheating and broke up with him. Her boyfriend got angry and beat her. Feeling guilty, Yuan Ji took her to a restaurant. He listened carefully to Fang Yu's tragic story. Because of this, she would suffer from insomnia every night, so she had to rely on sleeping pills to fall asleep. As a doctor, Yuan Ji advised Fang Yu not to become overly reliant on sleeping pills. However, a simple reminder made the wounded woman feel deeply comforted. After finishing dinner and leaving the restaurant, the sky suddenly started pouring rain. Yuan Ji, driving, saw Fang Yu running in the rain. He immediately pulled over to the side of the road. He opened the car door for Fang Yu to get in, and drove her directly home. Fang Yu warmly invited him inside to sit for a while, but he refused. Unbeknownst to him, this action would cost Yuan Ji for going against a woman's wishes. Afterward, whether day or night, text messages kept coming in. She launched a fierce attack on Yuan Ji. Afraid his wife would find out, Yuan Ji changed Fang Yu's contact to Buddy Da Chao. Faced with the flood of text messages, Yuan Ji paid no attention. But unexpectedly, Fang Yu went straight to the hospital. Why are you ignoring me? You really misunderstood. I never liked you. When I was scared, you saved me. When I was hurt, you stayed with me. You even told me, you're so great, there will definitely be someone who loves me. And that person is you. I just like you for being so good. Don't do this. I know you feel guilty about your wife. I understand. Enough. Faced with Fang Yu's relentless pestering, Yuan Ji immediately gave her the cold shoulder. But this only angered Fang Yu further. The next day, Fang Yu came to the house under the pretense of tutoring the child in piano. Yuan Ji was shocked when he saw her. It turned out that his wife, Chen Jane, had learned from her conversation with Fang Yu that the child wasn't adjusting well to the school's learning environment, so she requested that the teacher come to their house for extra lessons. For the sake of their son's education, his wife had actively invited the teacher to the house. Fang Yu not only seriously taught the child to play the piano, but also taught Chen Jane how to take care of her skin. That day, Yuan Ji went to work as usual, but as soon as he went out, he bumped into Fang Yu. He immediately approached her and begged her to leave him alone. But Fang Yu was still relentless. She took out her phone and sent Yuan Ji a photo of the two of them together. Hurry up and go to work. If your wife comes in and sees us, I'm afraid she'll ask me something. When I get scared, I might say something wrong. Fang Yu's behavior made him feel utterly unreasonable. However, after Yuan Ji left for work, Fang Yu saw Chen Jane happily interacting with the child and felt a surge of jealousy. She then knocked over the water glass while they weren't looking. The piano lid slammed down and injured Chen Jing's hand. Chen Jing was so focused on playing piano with the child that she didn't notice anything unusual. Before leaving, she even proactively made dinner for Chen Jing. After work that evening, Yuan Ji rushed home in a panic. He immediately asked about his wife's injury as soon as he walked in, but his wife didn't seem to care. She pulled the child and was ready to eat. At this point, Yuan Ji received another message from Fang Yu. It instantly made him feel like she was provoking him. He immediately stopped his wife from eating the food on the table. He claimed that she couldn't eat seafood due to her injury. Then, he dumped all the food. The next day, he stormed to Fang Yu's house. He demanded to know how much money it would take for her to leave him alone. But Fang Yu said she didn't want anything. She only wanted to be his wife. If you don't agree, I'll force you to accept it. Then she stubbornly pushed herself onto him. Yuan Ji shoved her onto the bed. Then he took out a check and placed it on the table. He completely ignored Fang Yu's desperate pleas and stormed out. As he walked down the stairs, a loud crash startled Yuan Ji. He quickly ran to the car. When he got home that evening, what he never expected was Fang Yu was in his house. Let's see if you dare ignore me again. Of course, I won't die. If I die, I won't be able to see you. At that moment, his wife turned on the lights. Yuan Ji immediately questioned Fang Yu. What are you doing here? It turned out that the explosion didn't hurt her. With nowhere else to go, Fang Yu called Chen Jing to ask if she could stay for a few days. If it's inconvenient, I can move out. Oh, it's not inconvenient. For the sake of his son, Yuan Ji had no choice but to agree. The next morning, Yuan Ji went to the kitchen to confront Fang Yu. But he was stunned to see his wife wearing Fang Yu's clothes. Her makeup was also very similar to Fang Yu's. Just then, the grandmother came over. At dinner, Fang Yu purposely spilled some soup on herself. Then she lifted her clothes and started wiping it in front of everyone. While Fang Yu was changing, the grandmother reminded Chen Jing, helping others is good, but you need to be careful, too. If something happens, it won't be good, right? Little did they know, Fang Yu overheard their conversation from the room. At dinner, Fang Yu had put sleeping pills into Chen Jing's bowl. This is why she shamelessly climbed into Yuan Ji's bed. After they went into another room, the grandmother got up to pour a glass of water. As the two of them were getting closer, the grandmother pushed open the door and walked in. Yuan Ji hurriedly chased after her to explain. He asked the grandmother to help him get Fang Yu out. The next day, Yuan Ji took his wife and child and left the house. The grandmother found Fang Yu playing the piano. She went straight to the point and told her to leave Yuan Ji. But unexpectedly, this action angered Fang Yu. Seeing that she was unmoved, the grandmother, in a fit of anger, locked her in the room. Fang Yu, who had severe claustrophobia, panicked immediately. She cried out to be let out of the room. The grandmother deliberately turned up the music to teach her a lesson. But after the grandmother finished cooking, as soon as she turned around, Fang Yu appeared. She picked up the frying pan and threw it on the ground. The grandmother was so frightened that her heart condition flared up. She asked Fang Yu to give her the medicine. But Fang Yu coldly turned and walked away. Looking at the unconscious grandmother, Yuan Ji finally confessed to his wife. Little did he know, his wife had already known everything. The day he came back from drinking, smelling of perfume, he tried to cover the lipstick stain on his clothes with red wine. He even replied to messages from women late at night. The reason she chose to endure it was that she didn't want to destroy their happy family. At the same time, she was waiting for Yuan Ji to confess on his own. What she didn't expect was that the woman her husband cheated with was the one she brought home. Yuan Ji begged his wife to give him some time, to give him a chance to prove his innocence. But just when one problem was resolved, another arose. When they went to the school to pick up their child, they were told by the teacher that a woman had already picked up the child. Chen Jing immediately took out her phone and had the teacher confirm. Then they went to Fang Yu's piano school. From her colleague, they learned that Fang Yu had not been to work for several days, and she had broken up with her boyfriend years ago. When she hadn't broken up with her boyfriend yet, Fang Yu thought she had found true love. Her love-struck mind quickly entered a passionate relationship. But little did she know, her boyfriend was a scumbag. Not only did he beat her, he also had other women outside. Fang Yu wanted to break up with her boyfriend, but the scumbag kept her locked in a dark room. As a result, she developed severe claustrophobia. Since then, she no longer believed in love. Until one day, a colleague saw her smiling at her phone. Since breaking up with her boyfriend, it was the first time they had seen her so happy. They thought she had found a new boyfriend. As a doctor, Yuan Ji finally understood everything. That evening, they still couldn't find any clues about the child. When they returned home, music could be heard from the room, and a faint light shone through the door crack. He opened the door and saw his son sleeping soundly. His wife tried to enter, but Yuan Ji stopped her. Fang Yu made a quiet gesture with a knife. Yuan Ji, seeing this, asked Fang Yu about their son's behavior that day, calling her wife. At the same time, he was shifting Fang Yu into the role of the female lead in his life. Then he comforted her, telling her to take a bath and sleep early. He then took the child and moved away. At that moment, Yuan Ji realized the child had already passed out. What did you do to him? He didn't want to sleep earlier. I gave him the sleeping pills I usually take. Look how soundly he's sleeping. Just then, the woman pushed the door open. Upon seeing Chen Jing, Fang Yu became agitated. She stood up and waved the knife in her hand. Yuan Ji, holding the child, rushed to the bathtub. He desperately poured water into the child's mouth. Luckily, the child woke up just in time after the rescue. Meanwhile, Chen Jing knocked the knife out of Fang Yu's hand. Then, Fang Yu strangled her by the neck. Afterwards, Fang Yu threw Chen Jing down the stairs. Chen Jing struggled to get up and fled the room. She then hid in a storage room. Fang Yu followed closely behind. Upon hearing footsteps, Chen Jing accidentally made a sound. Fang Yu turned around and lunged at a pile of debris. She uncovered it, only to find it wasn't Chen Jing. But she didn't give up. She turned around and grabbed the gasoline from the table. While muttering to herself, she began pouring gasoline. Then she lit a lighter. At that moment, Chen Jing suddenly appeared. She pushed Fang Yu aside. The lighter fell to the floor. Fang Yu grabbed a pair of tongs and struck Chen Jing. Unexpectedly, the tongs hit the ground, sparking and igniting the gasoline. The fire quickly consumed the entire room. On the other side, after rescuing the child, Yuan Ji saw the fire outside. He immediately ran outside. At that moment, Chen Jing pressed Fang Yu's head to the ground, but Fang Yu tossed her aside. After knocking over a shelf, Chen Jing was trapped beneath it. Then Fang Yu saw Yuan Ji rushing over. She thought he would save her first, but instead, he went straight to his wife. He forcefully lifted the shelf and rescued his wife. At this point, Fang Yu was surrounded by flames. The wife signaled Yuan Ji to save Fang Yu. Seeing Yuan Ji coming to save her, Fang Yu smiled. In fact, that night, they didn't do anything. It was Fang Yu's one-sided attempt to undress Yuan Ji. At the critical moment, Yuan Ji stood firm. I have a wife. It was because of this one sentence that Fang Yu started believing in love again. It also cemented her other persona into the imaginary life she shared with Yuan Ji. Afterwards, the wife forgave Yuan Ji and arranged for Fang Yu to stay in a nearby house. From then on, the four of them lived a happy life together.